So Novak Djokovic has appeared at Wimbledon, and although he is still unsure of whether he will play or not, it is great to see the 7-time champion at SW19, and hopefully he'll be ready to play come Monday or Tuesday next week. And it's a sight to see. Here we go, some photos coming in from Wimbledon Twitter account, and it's nice to see getting on the court. He has his right arm and right knee covered up. However, hopefully that's all a precautionary thing. And hopefully those two troublesome injuries are behind him. And I'm quite, in a weird way, optimistic about this tournament for Novak Djokovic because he ended the French Open in somewhat positive terms, and he really was beginning to play some very good tennis. Whether or not he can bring in that form from Roland Garros post-surgery into Wimbledon is a whole nother question, but he's going to need a big week, a big training block here at Wimbledon on the practice courts, getting in some valuable practice sets and getting some valuable match play before we can really see what he's like in the opening rounds at Wimbledon if he is to play. Hopefully he is, fingers crossed. However, moving on, the real story is Andy Roddick. Here we go. Also on X, you can get into on X if you want to see what happened over the weekend. However, Andy Roddick got into a Twitter spat with Pavi G. Andy Roddick wasn't right in his comments where, I believe in his podcast, he said in regards to Djokovic making videos of his return that he wants everyone to know about his recovery and make it all about him. He's somewhat saying that he wants people to not forget about him and he wants all the attention to be on him rather than Carlos Alcaraz or the current tennis players playing at Queen's Club and Halle, which finished yesterday. That being said, the quote in question is the fact that he is posting those videos I was talking about. He wants the attention of a flirting with the Wimbledon title and being healthy. He is certainly not dealing with this injury privately. And it's a bit of a WTF statement there, to be honest. You can't argue with that. Is he still jealous after all these years? Who knows? He, of course, handed over that trophy last year at 2023 US Open to Novak Djokovic on the 20th anniversary of his only Grand Slam. I thought this beef was somewhat over. I thought Andy Roddick was beginning to be a bit of a Novak stan, and he's still great. He's doing some great work for the Tennis Channel and his own podcast at the moment. But some comments like this can increase tensions and credibility on Andy Roddick's side. And we'll briefly interrupt that video because we have a deal from Socceratoz, our sponsors, for the Euro 2024 Championship. So you can get a kit or jersey of your choice for 10% off. And in this case, we have a Poland away jersey, which I quite like. Let's make it a size large, customize it with a name and number, add a patch if you want, and we'll buy that now. And once you add the coupon code SPORTS, that should come out to 10% off in conjunction with free shipping. You have a jersey for pretty cheap. That's quite cheap for a reliable, fast delivered and quality football shirt. You're not going to get that anywhere else as far as I have seen. And it comes pretty quickly. And in a snap of a finger, it arrives. Quality football shirt, and I quite like this Poland away jersey, but a silver lining for the Polish fans is that their football team wears some quality football jerseys. So check out Socceratoz for quality football shirts, and thank you for sponsoring the video. Also, Andy Murray, another Andy here, he's fallen victim to the media saying he's going to pull out before he actually has pulled out. He's undergone back surgery on a spinal cyst, I believe, over the weekend, and the ATP Tour official account on X and Instagram said he's pulled out. However, even though British Davis Cup captain Leon Smith said that he will miss Wimbledon, apparently this is actually not set in stone. And Andy Murray hopes to be back on the practice court by the end of the week and hopes to play at Wimbledon. Although it's probably a lower chance of happening than Djokovic playing, in my opinion, it's not beyond the realm of possibility. Here we go, Leon Smith, changing what he said here, saying he obviously went through a procedure yesterday and you have to wait and see now. My understanding is no decision has been made and let's hope the best for Andy. So it's a bit of confusion here, perhaps brought on by the Davis Cup captain. Perhaps you should just be quiet until Andy Murray, he can speak for himself. And that's always the leaks that go on. People believe other people. Perhaps it's always better to believe from the direct source, as was the case with Djokovic when he announced he was pulling out of the French Open. It would be great to see Andy Murray there because if he doesn't play, in my opinion, he will be so devastated and will like to play another year, which would be great for us tennis fans. But on his body, it would be perhaps better for him if he does retire sometime this year, perhaps at the Olympics, perhaps at the US Open. We'll see. Hopefully Andy Murray can play, but it's once again another case of the media putting Andy Andy Murray into retirement before he actually puts himself into retirement, as was the case back in 2019. Some positive news all around. Perhaps two members of the Big Four, after all, are going to be playing at Wimbledon, and it's great for the fans, for the revenue of the tournament. Also, let me know in the comments down below whether Andy Roddick was a bit harsh in his words to Novak Djokovic and whether he should be more careful with what he says in the future. And actually, if you have a look on Twitter, he already has made a bit more of a conservative answer in regards to Novak Djokovic and his potential Wimbledon participation. So until next time.